guys. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I actually want to talk about something we heard about last week, which is Dragalia Lost being shut down. So, they posted a Twitter post on March 22nd saying we'd like to share information about the future of Dragalia Lost after the main campaign has ended. Service of the game itself will end at a later date. Please see the message link below for more details, and thank you for playing. This seems rather abrupt considering they just put out a message about the 3.5-year anniversary just a couple of days prior. On March 18th, they wrote a message saying the 3.5-year anniversary countdown bonus started on March 17th. Don't forget to log in every day to get summon vouchers. So they had a bunch of rewards and events going on during this time period for the 3.5-year anniversary. And then just a couple of days later, on March 22nd, they're posting about the future of Dragalia Lost. So it seems rather abrupt. Not sure how players who are currently playing the game feel about that. But for me, seeing Dragalia Lost being shut down, or them saying that it's going to be shut down and that the service is going to be ending soon, was quite a shock to me, because this game was really good, honestly. I played it for a really long time and I really love it. It did have a couple of things working against it, like not being able to play it on an emulator, which means that it would boggle down your phone, which I wasn't a fan of. I'm really not a fan of games that boggle down my phone. I like to be able to play them on emulator so that I could just run them on my computer and my phone isn't running all the time and I can use it for other things I need to do. But this is rather abrupt, so basically they're basically talking about what people can expect going forward. They do not have a time of when the game is actually ending, but they obviously thanked players for playing their game. The main campaign for Dragalia Lost is going to end on July 2022, so they are going to finish the story. And then they basically just say after the main campaign has concluded, service of the game itself will continue to a close at a later date. They don't specify when. Further details of the end of service schedule will be provided in a future notification. And then basically, the final set of new adventures are going to be added in a showcase on the 31st of March. And then the game's not going to receive any new content aside from the main campaign and certain quests. They'll basically just be doing reruns of prior summon showcases of Adventurers and Dragons. And they'll be doing event revivals as well. And that's just going to continue until the end of service, which they're not stating when exactly that's going to be. It's clearly going to be sometime after July. They may bring Dragalia Lost up until their 4th year anniversary, which is not that long after July, to be honest. But I guess we'll have to see how far this goes. So yeah, I'm not sure about the details that really made them decide to shut this game down. Personally, for me, I think they did themselves a disservice with not allowing people to play it on emulator, because that makes it hard for people to stream their game and create videos for their game and, have content creators covering it, either streaming or making videos. So I think that's something companies really need to take consideration for. A lot of people like being able to play on an emulator, or for the gaming company to put out some kind of, PC client for the games. A lot of times they block emulators because people cheat, which is the major issue with that. But a lot of people like to be able to play it on the computer rather than having their phone run constantly with the game. Some people don't have the best phones, so if they play it on an emulator, it will run better for them. So I think, in a way, they did themselves a massive disservice with Dragalia Lost by not allowing people to use emulators. I know that's one of the reasons I stopped playing the game, because I wasn't able to spam it on an emulator on my computer, and I didn't want my phone to be hung up with these games. Just spamming, stamina that you need to do and trying to complete events. I don't think Dragalia Lost was any more grindy than any other game, to be honest. I think it has the same level of grinding that you have to do in any gacha game, so I don't think that's really the problem. Dragalia Lost was a very multiplayer-centric type of game, so a lot of the materials that you had to get to upgrade your heroes, you would need to do multiplayer, which for me made it difficult because you'd have to play multiplayer, which I'm not overly a fan of. I like doing things at my own pace and on my own time, and that I have control over rather than doing multiplayer and someone screws it up and now you have to redo it. You also had to manual those stages, which makes it kind of hard to grind out resources that you need for the characters, especially when you're forced to play it on the phone. But the truth of the matter is, I absolutely love Dragalia Lost. I love the characters. I love the battle system. I just loved everything about it. Honestly, it has one of the best distribution of characters that any gacha game has. They really didn't just put out all female characters. They have a very good ratio of characters, male to female. They have a lot of dark skinned characters, which you don't see that often, actually, which was really nice. And I like the art style. I like the chibi sprites. The dragons look amazing in this game. And the gameplay was fun. It's one of those games that there's nothing else like it on the phone. So when it came out, it was something that was new, it was exciting, and I actually played it for a really long time, a couple of years before I stopped. So I really liked the game quite a bit. So I'm really sad to see this one go. I hope that in some way it gets revived in some way, whether they create a console game for this game or whatever they do with it. I honestly think this game could be made into a console game. Truthfully, it has all the features that just work perfectly in a console game, and you're able to have fun playing with other people, your friends, your family. So Dragalia Lost is a really great game. Maybe that's their intention. Nintendo plans on trying to convert it into an actual console game in some way. But yeah, this was really a shock to see. This is one of the reasons I try not to be too invested in the games I play, because these gacha games can shut down at any time and without warning, really, and before you're ready to give it up. So while I play games for a really long time, I played Epic 7 for, it'll be 4 years this year. I played it from launch, but even that game is going to eventually end at some point. Same with the other games I've played. I played a lot of games for years, but I've been trying to not anchor myself. Money's another thing. This is why I don't spend copious amounts of money on these games, because they'll shut down and your account is just gone. You won't be able to access your account, so all of the effort that you put into your account, all of the money you put into your account will be lost. So while I'm not 100% against spending money on these games, I think you should always be careful with what you're doing, because you're not purchasing a tangible item. This is virtual content, and when the game shuts down, it's just gone. So this is why I always say to be careful with money. I'm not against spending money in these games, but I think you should be very cautious with what you're doing, especially when the game's lifespan is cut short like this. Which is why, I approach Alchemy Stars the way I do. And I approach all the other games I play. Epic 7, Genshin Impact, every game that I've played. And I've played a lot of gacha games, just a ridiculous amount of gacha games. I approach them all the same way. I'm willing to spend some money on the games, but I limit myself, because when the game shuts down, that's it. I wanted to make sure I put out a video for Dragalia Lost, because it's a game that I actually really enjoyed for a long time. And I love this game. I stopped playing the game, but I still love this game, and it really saddens me to see this go. And it puts things into perspective that allows me to think about all of the games that I'm currently playing, and that their lifespan of those games can be cut short too, and that the companies themselves have a plan to just run the game for X period of time and then shut it down, which, a lot of games do that. They just have a 10-year plan or a 5-year plan, and that's their plan of running the game for that period of time. Now, they don't necessarily fully disclose that all the time, but they do have that set, so you have to keep that in mind when playing these games. And enjoy them for what they are. Enjoy them for as long as you can. What I want to do as a send-off for Dragalia Lost is to just do one more summoning session on my account. I'm going to spam all of the events and the story that I haven't done, and then I'm going to do a massive summoning session as a send-off to this game. I'll be posting that as well really soon. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye.